Now, live, CBS 3 Eyewitness News at 11.
The nation's 38th president is welcomed home tonight, to where he will be laid to rest after a final farewell in the nation's capital. Good evening, I'm Larry Menti. Alicia is off tonight. President Ford's remains are in Michigan tonight, back home, where he acquired his small-town Midwestern authenticity, where his political career began. This is a live picture now from the Ford Presidential Museum in Grand Rapids, which will stay open through the night. Americans from all walks of life are filing past Ford's casket, paying their respects. Hail to the chief, and a 21-gun salute greeted Ford's casket upon arrival today at the Grand Rapids Airport, bearing his name. The music was provided by the marching band from the University of Michigan, Ford's alma mater. The scene on the wind-whipped tarmac followed an elaborate national funeral service in Washington. CBS 3's Jim Osmond has more on that remembrance.
The four children viewed their father's casket at the Capitol Rotunda just before his coffin was carried out on its way to a funeral service at Washington National Cathedral. The emotional few days finally caught up with Ford's son, Steve, who brushed away tears. At the cathedral, inspirational music greeted guests who awaited the arrival of Mrs. Ford, who eventually was escorted to the front of the cathedral by President Bush.
In President Ford, the world saw the best of America.
In attendance, all living former presidents and first ladies. Former Secretary of State Henry Kissinger says Mr. Ford treated his presidency unlike a politician.
Never having aspired to national office, he was not consumed by driving ambition. In his understated way, he did his duty as a leader, not as a performer.
And you got a sense during this service that looking kindly on Mr. Ford may have come too late.
Mr. President, we did not always treat you well when you chose the right course for us.
Mr. Ford's poll numbers plummeted 30 points after he pardoned Richard Nixon, and it may be history that has a better view of Mr. Ford than the voters did in 1976. In Washington, Jim Osmond, CBS 3 Eyewitness News.
And on this National Day of Mourning, many remembering our 38th president leaned on their faith. A special mass was celebrated in honor of President Ford at the Cathedral Basilica of Saints Peter and Paul in Center City, Philadelphia. Mourners prayed for the Ford family, keeping them in their thoughts as they grieve. You can count on CBS3.com for more on the final farewell to President Ford. There you'll find a wrap-up of today's events, a schedule of what's ahead tomorrow, as well as a slideshow chronicling his private and public lives. More now on a story seen first on 3. Officials say tomorrow they will provide parents with more information on a frightening ordeal outside a local elementary school. Gunfire erupted just after classes left out for the day. Walt Hunter is live at the elementary school in West Philadelphia, where class will be held tomorrow. Walt.
Well, Larry, no sooner did the first class day of the new year end here at the Bluford Elementary School than the bullets began flying right outside, sending students, parents, and teachers running inside for cover.
Oh, ladies.
Dismissal at Bluford Elementary began as usual, but as Garolyn Jones arrived to pick up her two sons, suddenly she heard gunfire nearby.
People that were standing on this end of the school said it was about 8 shots. I counted 6 or 7. People were screaming and kids were running back that way.
As police roll up, remaining students have been safely locked down inside the school. Officers find 2 shell casings just a few feet from a doorway.
My concern is the people shooting out here at 3 o'clock when you know kids is getting out of school.
No students were hit. Who fired the shots and why, for now, a mystery.
That's terrible, man. I think it's a shame. I think it's a shame.
Police hope cameras may help lead to the gunman. And as officers gathered up the shell casings, neighbors reacted to criminals who are willing to put young lives at risk.
Bullets don't know no names, and bullets go straight. They keep going until they stop and drop. And, you know, it's getting like kind of unsafe around here.
And tonight, police say still no sign of the suspects. Parents giving teachers here big credit for taking action quickly to protect the children when the gunfire began. Live outside the Bluford Elementary School in West Philadelphia, Walt Hunter, CBS 3 Eyewitness News.
Thank you, Walt. A store owner shot over the weekend has died. Police now have a homicide investigation on their hands. This is new video of authorities tonight looking for evidence inside the Saba grocery store in Walnut Street in West Philadelphia. The owner, Bazir Ozani, died today from a gunshot wound to the head he received during a robbery on Saturday. Just one day after a Glen Olden police officer is shot, he's out of the hospital talking about his brush with fate. Matthew Illich was shot in the shoulder during a hostage standoff yesterday in Norwood. His alleged attacker, Andrew Gines, is under arrest, charged with attempted murder. Today, with his wife by his side, Illich spoke about the New Year's Day he will never forget.
You say you're prepared for it, or you try to be prepared for it, and as a family, and now that it's happened, we have to work through it and get through it together as a family.
It's very difficult, and it's still evolving, you know, when a family goes through something of this nature.
Illich has been a police officer for almost 9 years. He says he intends to be back on the beat as soon as possible. New at 11 now, South Jersey residents beware. A couple claiming to get help getting to their home is robbing so-called neighbors of cash and credit cards. A series of theft scams are happening in Evesham Township, Burlington County. CBS 3's Valerie LeVake has more on the investigation.
Evesham Township police are warning people about a couple going around saying they're expecting a baby, but what they're really expecting is for people to let their guard down. It's supposed to be the season of giving, not taking.
I'd just like to thank them for breaking my ability to trust people, I guess you could say, you know, because now I'll be wiser.
This woman from Evesham Township got a knock at her door recently from a young couple saying they were neighbors who locked themselves out and needed to use her phone.
And when they came in, I showed them where the phone was, and he picked it up, and I ran upstairs to get something. And just the short time that I was up there, maybe a minute or so, ran back down to